Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Your Nation podcast. In this episode, I want to tell you guys a bit about who I am, why I started this podcast, and where I plan to take it in the future. Also, what the podcast is not. So, to dive right in, I am Michaela Botha. I am born and bred South African from Cape Town, and I've been living in London for 5 years, a total of 5 years. I moved to London in 2018 with an accounting firm. Then I stayed here for 3 years. During that 3 years, the pandemic hit, and I was doing long distance with my then boyfriend. We decided that after the pandemic we could not do long distance anymore. It was either he moved to London or I moved to South Africa. He had a really good job and opportunity in South Africa, and I thought, um, let me move back, give me some time to spend with my family, and we would move back to the UK or any other country that was of our choosing. So at the time he stayed in Johannesburg. I moved back to Johannesburg for a year, but got to see my family in Cape Town, so flew up and down, which was really nice. And after a year, we decided was either move to Cape Town or move back to London. I then started applying and got a job. Got a job quite quickly actually. And then at the beginning of 2023, I got a job at another consulting and accounting firm, and we moved over to the UK once again. So we've been living in the UK for about 2 years now. January actually, it was 2 years. January of 2025 was 2 years. So I have about 5 years, total of 5 years experience moving and living in London. And I've moved alone, and I've moved with a partner or with a dependent. Both times I was the visa the visa holder, and then Luke, my husband, is a dependent on my visa. So as I my first time here, I plan to share my experience. I plan to vlog. I plan to do so much, but it never worked out. I got here and it was actually quite hard. I just got into work. It was just about living, honestly. I think the first 3 years was not a struggle, but initially it was a bit of a struggle, getting used to it, getting used to the um, like just the way of living as a single person or an individual, a female in a new city. I definitely think I found myself, but nevertheless, it was easier moving with someone because you share the experiences, you share the stress, you share the burdens, you share all of that. So the second time I moved, I shared my experiences on TikTok, and it got a lot of comments, a lot of likes, I got a lot of followers from that. And people started asking me questions like, how did I move to the UK, London, or the UK? How I got a job here, how I searched, how I found an apartment because we viewed something like 25 places. And all of it was terrible. Life is very different in the UK or in London comparison to South Africa. So I shared that experience on TikTok and just got a lot of interest. And from that, I thought, how can I actually help people? How can I use this platform to help other South Africans also move abroad and not just give like advice here and there, but actually talk to other people in different industries, because I was getting questions from nurses, from people in radiology, from people in fields other than my own. So I'm in consulting and accounting, now in banking, but nevertheless I don't have experience across all industries, and I was getting questions across different industries. So I thought, why not ask other people questions? Why not start a podcast and ask people from different industries how they got here, to show that it is possible for other people or for other industries to also move over. Because I think it's pretty well known that accounting and consulting, like with the big four, with your KPMGs, with your EYs, Ernest and Young, with PwC and Deloitte, It's easy to come over with them. And you usually see accountants on TikTok or Instagram or even YouTube who have moved over, and it was pretty easy for them. But similarly, there are other fields where it's quite easy to move over. So I thought, let's connect with those people, let's talk to them. Also, taking one step back, after posting on TikTok for a while, someone gave me the idea to meet up, just like meet up with someone, one of my followers. And I was like, why just one person? Let's create a network. Let's have a brunch. So I invited a couple people. The first one, we had about 6 people join us, and that was really nice. It was just good to connect with other South Africans. We just shared experiences over a meal, and then we became friends. And then we had a second Safa brunch, and that was even more successful. More people came. It was more than 10 people that came. They brought their partners, they brought friends, and we had a really good time. So I just want to create a network. And I thought that because I have a platform now, I should leverage that. I'm meeting so many new people. Why not use those people to help other South Africans who are interested in coming to the UK? I think I answered both questions in telling you about myself, but that's basically what I want to do with this podcast. Moving abroad is hard. Moving to any country outside of South Africa, I think on a South African passport is very hard unless you have an ancestral visa or you have a EU or British passport. It's quite hard to leave, and not all industries offer that opportunity. So if people are looking for what to study and they want to move abroad, this platform could help them decide what to study so that there are future prospects. And things obviously change, so this may not be relevant in 10 years, but at least it can help people in the next 5 years or in the next couple years. And we will try and update the content, keep the content relevant, and follow up discussions. But I really want to create a network of South Africans helping South Africans, because I've done it twice and it was hard twice, even though it was easier the second time. It was it was a challenge. So if we can make it easier for other people using this platform, that's what I want to do. I want to help our fellow South Africans and create a network, because being abroad is not, as I said, it's not easy. It's isolating. You have to start from the beginning. You have to make new friends. You have to build a community. You don't necessarily come home over with family. So you have to find your family. You have to build your family. So using a network, you can, if you come to one of my events, for example, you find someone who you really click with. That person can become your family. This can be a starting point for people who are not extroverts. I'm an extrovert, so I I consider myself an extrovert, and I make friends pretty easily. So I've managed to expand my friend group or my network, not only South Africans, but with other people as well. But if this is a platform that can help people do so, then I will gladly do that, because that's what I want to do. At home, you are able to call on your uncle with a bucket to help you move. You're able to get your cousin to help you build a cupboard or something like that. If this network can be something like that, where you can find people to reach out to, support you in those tough times, that's what I want for us. That's one. That's the second thing. The first thing is the resources. Definitely want to give people the resources and the tools to make decisions to move abroad. So that's what that's what I aim to do. And why I just jumped into it at the end of 2024 without any context was because I wanted to get the ball rolling. I gave myself a goal for my 30th year. There were things I wanted to achieve, and it was nearing the end of the year, and I needed to do something. I wanted to start this network, this podcast, this channel to do what I just told you I wanted to do. So End of the year, I needed to do it. I recorded two podcasts, I spoke to two people, and I got it out there. I needed to get it out there. So this is a little bit late coming, but now you have context. Now you know a bit about me and why I'm doing this. And I want your support. I hope that even if you have a little bit of interest in this, share it, like it, follow, ask questions, engage, so that more people can see this and be exposed to it. And then finally, what this podcast is not. So it's not a perfect podcast. I record from my home. I live in London. London is noisy. We live right down from a high street, almost like a main road with a lot of shops. And there's a police station also down the road. So you might hear sirens, you might hear beeping, you might hear cars in the background, but that's okay. It may not be a perfect setting. Nothing is perfect, but I'm doing it. I want to get it started, and it will grow. I will have better equipment. I will have better footage. I will have better takes, better angles. But for now, it's just me and this camera and this mic that I actually got recently. Oh, it's a mic cover, actually. It opens up, and the DJI mic is at the bottom. But it will grow over time. It will get to the professional levels. But even if it doesn't, it's still serving its purpose. My main aim is to get the content out there, get the important bits out there, get the message out there. It doesn't have to look perfect, but it needs to be engaging. I understand that people don't want to see boring content, but there are people who are genuinely interested. When Luke and I were looking at videos on where to stay, on the costs involved, on like just how things have changed from 2018 to 2023, there wasn't a lot of content. You saw short forms on TikTok, on Instagram, but there's not a lot of content on YouTube that can help people in specific industries or look for niche things. So that's what we're trying to do. As long as the content is important, I will post it. There are a lot of snippets and things that I've recorded that I've just not posted because it's not perfect, because people have told me that I want to see boring content, or you should do this, you should do that, you should do that. Like, I got a light. This is the light. There's a bit of things that I got, but it's still not perfect. It's not like your Diary of a CEO podcast. It's not that. But it could be that with your support. But like I said, I just want the content out there. And I'm really inspired by other podcasters who have just done it. I follow this doula, and this is just a bit of context on why I'm saying this. I follow this doula, and she has two kids, two babies, and she's a doula. She has a job. She has a life. So she, in her spare time, she records when she's going out for a walk, when she's taking a kid on a walk. She records a podcast, and it's really good content. You hear cars in the background, you hear sirens, but the content is good, and I listen because I enjoy her content. So that's what I hope this will be for other people. I want it to be authentic. I will do. I wanted to be authentic. I wanted to deliver a message. Long story short, that is what this podcast is going to be about. Why I started it and what it's going to be about. So I really hope that you stay tuned. I hope that you enjoy what's coming next. I hope that you engage and tell me what you want to see, so that we can give you what you want and also help you to help our fellow South Africans. So thank you, and I look forward to what's to come. Thanks, guys. Mwah. Bye.